Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This card today is for the current My Favorite Things coloring challenge and it's already number 157. I have some new items and also some old ones that I want to use on this card. So first of all, I have that heart air balloon, which is a new one and in my opinion one of the most important ones. Then the Bitty Hugs and Kisses is also a new stamp set. It's an amazing stamp set with lots and lots of sentiments. And then I'm also using my favorite image here from the Partners in Adventure. Now I only wanted the bear because I wanted to have an image that could fit in the balloon, and there are lots of alternatives for putting in this air balloon. For example, the Missing You Every Single Day, definitely a stamp set that I will use for this. But I wanted this bear and I didn't need the penguin because the air balloon can only fit one image in the basket itself, or definitely from this size. So I sent it out 2 times for just to be sure actually, because anything could go wrong. And then I'm coloring with my Copic markers. I use the Gina K Design Amalgam ink, and this paper is the perfect coloring paper by Transotype. There are different packaging. Someone asked me whether there is a difference. There is an orange and a red packaging. I have no idea which is the difference, or even if there is any difference between them, because I only have the red package. So just so you know, if you are looking specifically for what I'm using, there is a red and an orange, and maybe there isn't any difference, but I use the red packaging. Okay, so for this coloring challenge there are actually 4 colors that they display, and there is a light blue, a dark blue, and then also 2 browns. So this bear is the darkest brown from the color combination, but as you see, it worked out fine, the coloring, and I had 1 left, so I decided to already cut everything twice for this heart air balloon, so I can make 2 versions. And I actually will do that, but making the second card I didn't do on the camera. But afterwards, when I was done filming, I had so much fun with this card that I definitely wanted to continue with the spare items that I had. So in the end of this video, I am including also a picture of my second card, and of course on my blog and Instagram you will also be able to see that one. It's quite similar, but I changed up placement, and of course the colors are a bit different. As you can see here, we have a darker basket and a lighter one, and then the color switched on the air balloon itself. So here I am fussy cutting that penguin off, and you can barely see that it was there. But to be able to see the bear as much as possible and have that air balloon being there where it is supposed to be, I placed my bear a bit lower, and then I even removed it again to add it with some foam squares, because foam squares on the basket, between the bear and the basket, really give some dimension, and it also gives the illusion of, you know, that there is more. So yeah, the bear is tucked in quite a lot, but still, with the dimension it looks like there is more to see. You can maybe tilt a card to see more. So yeah, that's a nice element, I think. So here I have my light blue, my dark blue, light brown and dark brown. So that is actually, in my opinion, the color combination from the challenge, as you can see here. Now I wanted to do some ink blending, just simple ink blending using a cloud stencil, because of course this air balloon is up in the sky. So I am masking off my stitch details. This panel is the biggest basic rectangles by Mama Elephant. It's one of those basics that I use almost every single time, because I like the stitch detail and I don't have like 5 sorts of basics. So here I have my cloud stencil. It's one of my favorite things, and I thought of doing the ink blending with tumbled glass. Now I don't know if you can see it very well, but apparently my cutting plates were filthy. There was some ink transfer from one of my latest cards, so I had to cover that up, and I saw that with the tumbled gloss it just wasn't going to work out. It's a really soft blue. So I decided to use the same blue as in the Heart Air Balloon, and therefore I used Concord and Ninth. So I'm using exactly the same, but this time the inks instead of the cardstock. So this ink is the Aqua Sky, and maybe it's handy to know, but the papers that I used for the Heart Air Balloon are Aqua Sky and Peacock from Concord and Ninth. And then for the basket and the strings, I used Fawn cardstock, paper bag, and ground coffee. I also list everything that I use in the supply box down below and on my blog post if you want to check that later on, but just so you know. So I'm twisting and turning this stencil while I am building up my sky, and this ink really blends nicely. So that was already fortunate. And I'm just going all the way, so there are 4 sides, all really different, and you don't need to do the same order every time again. You can definitely go back and forth and just have a unique background. What I also contemplated, but in the end didn't do, was to do a gradient in the sky and also use that darker blue. But I'm okay with how this turned out. So, but it can also be an idea, or maybe ink blending from the sides and really get some sort of a tunnel that guides you towards the image. But my image isn't going in the middle, so I just thought to leave it like this. I'm also adding a bit of blue on the bottom just to have the idea of even more sky that is continuing underneath. And then I can remove the purple tape and start on the sentiment. So for the sentiments, as I said in the beginning, I am using the Bitter Hugs and Kisses, and I think this set is perfect for Valentine, it's perfect for friends, it's perfect for Happy Mail, and I thought of doing a Valentine card today because I actually haven't made one this year. Of course, I did make a few in December, but yeah, that doesn't count for this year. So I am going to use one of the love sentiments, but just to be sure, I am also going to use a sentiment that I would use for Happy Mail, and I just thought, let's just do it all at once. If both work, then that's fine. If one doesn't, then I have another one. So just back up again using my Versamark clear embossing ink, and this paper is the same as before, the ground coffee. And I'm using my Ranger embossing powder, white super fine detail. Now, after removing the excess embossing powder, I heat set this, and actually both sentiments worked out fine, so I could use both. Of course, I only needed one for this one, but this was also one of the reasons that I decided, okay, let's continue after filming and make that second card as well. So I'm buffing off the excess of that anti-static powder tool, and now I'm taking the Sweet Feline die set by Mama Elephant. I really like these 2 sentiment strips that are inside of it, and it was just perfect for these sentiments. So I only cut out the one that I needed for this card, and then later on I cut out the other one. So I'm deciding on placement now, and I also have these cute clouds which are also included in this die set, and I just love them. So I decided to add 3 of them, just simple white clouds, not anything fancy, and 3 because that's an uneven number, and that always works better in my opinion than even numbers. So just adding them with some liquid glue, because my image will already be lifted with some thin foam squares. So this way I'm also playing with a bit of dimension on this card. It's a really simple one. This counts as a cast card in my opinion, clean and simple. But I truly adore it, and I really like making those. I also like scenes, but I'm always surprised by cast cards how only one image or a few or just a really simple background can do so much to your card. So for the sentiment, I'm also lifting it up. These are Diaries foam strips, which are truly handy also for shakers, and it has been a while since I used them, but I'm using them today. My T-square ruler is helping me getting this sentiment straight. And once that's on there, we can start thinking about a bit more details. So I took this Trinity Stamp Sweet and Tart Sprinkle Mix. I first thought of using the coffee bean because can it be even more matching with the idea of the card, but that wasn't really standing out. So I'm using one of those white hearts, and I'm almost running out of the white ones. I use them so much. So I will have to place an order in the US, I think, because I don't think, as far as I know, I cannot get them in Europe. But if you know a place for me to get some white sort of clayish hearts, let me know. So this is a bit up close, really simple card, and then I will show you some close-ups. The last card that I'm showing today is the one that I made with the leftovers that I had. I truly hope that you like it, that you enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a wonderful day left. Thank you so much and see you back soon. Bye!